Dude, my point is, you know what the costs are of trying this out? It's like, oh, if it works and all stuff. Look at this other founder of this other company we might have worked at.
Okay.
Crying.
Okay.
Because lost his family.
Yeah.
That is the risk. You think it comes for free? Just like work something on the side? Be like, oh yeah, I have like $1,000 per week. No. Dude, you got kids growing up, you got a family, and I love these last 6 months have been amazing. Because I just actually want to spend time with them. It's so fun. And I don't want to miss out on that.
This is getting to a different discussion, which is like, how much time do you need to spend on a startup to make it work? Do you need to be the guy that works 100 hours a week, or can you do it at 20 hours a week?
20 hours a week is still not worth it.
10 hours a week.
Not worth it.
5 hours a week.
Not worth it.
Why?
Because if you work on a startup for 5 hours a week, you're not working on a startup for 5 hours a week. You might be like coding 5 hours a week, or you might be like sawing something for 5 hours a week. The entire rest of the week, you're thinking about those 5 hours. If you actually care about what you're doing, you're going to be thinking about it every single day. I've tried this.
Okay.
That's how it works. It's impossible to work 5 hours a week. Your mind is constantly on this thing, you know? And then you have ideas, and you wake up, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then you like write it down. It's like, I just need to, stupid. You need to talk about people and trying to recruit.
Dude, I'm having a different thought process about the whole thing right now. Because, like, I'm working on this project in there. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Been working on it for a while. And will it work or not? Who knows? Probably not, right? What's your take? Give me a percentage.
That it's going to work?
Yeah. Percent likelihood.
I think there's 10%, 5%.
5 to 10% that it'll work. Okay, great.
It's really high, actually.
Yeah. That thing, so
probably, it's actually
probably won't
really
work.
High. 10% is really high.
Sure, yeah. So it probably won't work, but let's say it does. It's actually not been that painful for me because it's like a physical product. So just the nature of the product and working with manufacturers and stuff, like there's just tons of downtime where I don't really actually need to be thinking about it. I do think about it a ton, and I'm thinking about like material selection and all that stuff, but it's not, I'm taking it way slower because with this one, I just care about the quality of it way more than I have on other things. And so I'm just really, really willing, if it takes 2 years to get the product like dialed to the point where I feel like, okay, now I would actually feel good about my friends using this or whatever, like I'd feel really proud of it. Then it takes 2 years, and like, it just takes as long as it takes,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to kill myself at it. I'm not trying to get it done this month. It's just like the new finish line for me is when I feel like I know that it's like good enough, and it's like with everything when you build stuff, like software developers, executives are always like, how long is this going to take? And like, give me a solid estimate. It's like, dude, this is the first and last time we will ever build this feature. So like, I can give you a really rough estimate, but you got to understand that like, it's impossible to actually predict. And if you want it to be done well, then it's going to be done when it's done. Or you can just tell me I have 2 weeks, and then you'll get what you get out of 2 weeks worth of work. But no one wants that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm taking more of like the...
Yeah, but it's also different. Like, for example, if you're actually coding an app,
yeah,
right? Like, you can't just wait for the manufacturers to do their stuff.
True, but there's a lot of stuff, like, I think it's, in that case, maybe more about if you don't have a good answer to a question. I don't know, dude. I think that the opportunities may be different. Like maybe in some settings, you do have to do it like ASAP because there's going to be some competitive risk that like if you're not the first one in.
There was an example
whatever.
on the other podcast we talked about the balance sports, for example.
Yeah,
you should hurry, right?
Yeah, but I think in a lot of cases that it doesn't need to be like that, and you can kind of like, dude, this is an exercise I've done in my head like 100 times since learning about how successful Yeti Coolers is and like a little bit about their story. I think if you were to walk into like Walmart, for example, this is basically one way to look at their story. They walked into Walmart, they're like, let's find a product. Oh, look, coolers. These things are a piece of junk. Like they don't actually hold ice that long. They don't this, that. They're not that durable. And they just made the cooler like 10 times better, right? No one else is really working on coolers at the time. Like now it's a big market, but I bet there are thousands of things like that where you could just walk into a scenario, like pick a product, whatever the heck you want, and just start thinking like, how do we make this thing like significantly better than everything else out there? And you could probably take a good amount of time with that. You could probably take years to figure it out. And if you do it all right, then when you release it, hopefully gonna work. Like if you actually make a product that is truly actually better than the other stuff out there and the price is still right and blah, blah, blah. How's that not gonna work? People are already buying that thing. There's already demand for it. People are already buying coolers. You made a better one. People are going to buy it.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, but
Dude, it's probably the same with software.
I'm still out. No, it's not. I'm out.
Wow. All right, we've exhausted this one.
I think.
Were you guys casting without me? No.